Sagittarius, this is your July 2016 reading. We're going to start with love and partnerships and then move on to the general forecast. The first card that comes up says before you can move on with the status of your relationship life, whether you are in one or looking for one, you need to forgive and let go of some issue or old story which you play out that has nothing to do with your present situation. It has to do with your past. It has to do with something possibly in your childhood or how your parents related to one another. The thing to remember is your parents did the best they could with what they had, and that one needs to move forward from that. You just need to blanket give them forgiveness for those things that they did incorrectly for your sake, so that you can move on and play out your relationship differently, not history repeating itself, basically. That's what this card says. The second card says that you may have been waiting for something and the waiting is now over, but you haven't moved on yet. This could be why you haven't moved on yet, because you haven't dealt with some barrier, some blockage, something that is stopping you. And you're going to see this coming up throughout your reading. At the end of the reading, I'll sort of give you an overall encapsulated version of what I think is going on here, or the message that came through, should I say. It says that have a look at what is stopping you from moving. Have a dig deep and see why. Why is it that you're not moving forward yet? Because the waiting is over. And the final card says in this section, where there is love, there is life. So you're being asked, you're being told to move on to where love is. So if you're in a partnership or relationship, you're not moving to that core, to that center where love exists. You're holding back a bit, if not a whole lot. And the same applies if you're wanting to go into a new relationship. I think for a lot of you, you know who that new person is. You're aware of it. You know who it is that you want to have a relationship with, and you're stopping yourself because you haven't dealt with something yet. But the time is right. The timing is right. It's now up to you to deal with whatever it is so that you can move on and do what needs to be done. Get involved. Get in there and do what needs to be done. Now, your soul's journey for July, this, in other words, on the spiritual level, what is happening in July? It says you will have to learn this month, or you will learn this month, that you can spin miracles and magic from anything you truly want to. You will learn that in order to get what you truly desire, you need to truly want it. It doesn't need ingredients. We can so often tell ourselves, well, if I want to be this, this needs to happen and that needs to happen and I have to have that. This card is saying that's not true. It says you just need to be totally committed to spinning that magic carpet stitch by stitch. It's up to you. So stop telling yourself you can't do it because you don't have what it takes or needs. So you can see this theme running through your reading. Because the next card, the archetype is that of Shiva, or the destroyer. And this says dance away any old beliefs that burden you. Defy and destroy those belief systems that stand in the way of your happiness. So on all levels, it seems to me that's what you're dealing with. There's a barrier. There's a blockage. You're not climbing over it because it's holding you back. It's limiting you. Now, the mundane journey, the first card that comes up, is that of Ghostlands. And this says that, hang on guys, hang on, sorry. I'm just going to go back a bit. I've skipped a card here. The last card in your soul's journey is that of the eagle. And it says your mind alone is stopping you from soaring like an eagle. Get out of your head and fly. So there it is. Pretty clearly stated for you. Now your mundane journey. So this is not what happens on the day-to-day level for you. What you're going to see happening in life. And the first card that comes up is that of Ghostlands. And this says get out of the past. It is done and dusted, long gone. Live in the here and the now. This is here. This is now. This is reality. The rest is memories and dreams. So this barrier is either linked to the past or you are directly sitting somewhere in the past and you're not moving forward from that. You're stuck with that belief system. You're stuck with the beliefs that are limiting you from moving forward. So I think it's a belief system. It's manifesting as a belief system that is limiting you, that's saying to you, I can't do this, I can't go to that person, I can't love properly, I can't become this because this is what happens. Understand? Those are just belief structures. You can weave like that first card in the soul's journey. You can weave whatever you want to. Just destroy those belief systems that are not serving you, that are holding you back. The next card that comes up says, do your homework. Research what you want to do. Don't have preconceived ideas and beliefs. Check it out. You could be hugely surprised. So look into whatever it is, because you're just sticking with a belief system that doesn't even necessarily apply to whatever it is you want to do. The final card in this section is that of soulmates. And this says you will set out on a path if you decide to go ahead, where you'll be joined by like-minded people who want to be on this journey with you. You inspire one another, you fuel one another, and you give each other a new lease on life. That's a lovely card to get. Now, in the guidance part of your reading, the first card that comes up is that of intuition. And so intuition is the ability to listen to your inner self, to your higher self. Okay? And the thing here is that higher self is the self that knows better. It doesn't speak with fear and it doesn't speak with doubt. It speaks with clarity and it knows. Listen to that. The next card that comes up says it is now time to shift who you are and what you believe in. It says try new clothes, new attitude, new habits, even new places to frequent. Shift into a new perspective. Sometimes to shift inwardly, we can actually do it by doing outward behavior. I know this is not always what people would recommend, if you're on a spiritual journey, that is, but it does work. You change the way you dress, change the places you go to, change the people you hang out with, change your things you believe in, even try other things. It actually makes internal shifts as well. So this is the kind of guidance that's coming through here, because the final card says you must expand your territory. And that's what it's all about. So that little circle that you live in, and there are very few of us that don't live in a very small circle. We have that circle of people we like to associate with, those clothes we like to wear, those places we like to go, those habits, hobbies we like to do. We very seldom venture out of that comfort zone. This card is saying, like these two brave lions setting off on this path, it's time you did that. Venture out of your comfort zone. Then it will shift you inwardly as well, so that you can shift that old belief system that you have. In any instance, anyway, to shift an old belief system, you need to try something new that shows you that the old belief system is actually redundant. As long as you're doing the same things, that belief system is going to stay in place. So you guys have got a barrier you need to overcome this month. And the advice being given here is shift outwards. Go out there and try new things. Be a new person. Try new belief systems. And then you will see that your old belief system doesn't apply. Right, Sagittarius. So that's your July reading. If you would like a personal reading to give you more advice and guidance on what exactly this barrier is and how to deal with it, then contact me at theoracletimes@gmail.com. I do hope you enjoyed that reading. Thank you very much for watching and listening.
If there is a way I could find that could make me feel the known, if there is some way you could find it. If you wanna be free, be free. If you wanna stay clear, I can be until you leave. And it's here, that's what I'm finding. I'm picking you up in a way it's like I never even knew. Do hear what you say till I find it. Listen above to the words that I hear before I go. Listen for some kind of sign. If you wanna be free, be free. If you wanna stay clear, I can be until you leave. And it's here, that's what I'm finding. Hold me in your arms one time, I know. And I cannot be clear until I go. If you wanna be free, be free. If you wanna stay clear, I can be until you leave. And it's here,